Sterven! Skillgelassene! Stegen! Sterven!
Remember to subscribe and like the video, you heathens. Alright, so this is my review for SAS Red Notice. 2021, this year, obviously, action thriller. It's labeled as action adventure, but I would pretty much argue that action and thriller are kind of the same thing. Unless it's like flat out action, so it's kind of a little bit different. But this stars Sam Heughan, and I'm pronounced his last name wrong, excuse me, Ruby Rose, and none other than Andy Serkis. So the plot of this is a mercenary commander hijacks a high-speed train in the Channel Tunnel in Europe. SAS operator must save the passengers and the love of his life before it's too late. I was a little bit hesitant to do this because of Ruby Rose. I watched the first season of Batwoman, a couple episodes actually. Horrible acting, horrible everything. I heard a YouTuber, I won't say, back when I watched him, talk about how she was horrible in acting, and I honestly never seen her outside of the first time I saw her was in John Wick 2. She was a mute in there, so, I thought she was a good actress from the part she had. So as that in mind, I figured, well, that and I haven't seen her out of that movie, so I needed to give her a chance, kind of like I did with two other big actors. As you know, I went on a journey. So another thing is, it has Andy Serkis in here. Now, I love Andy Serkis. He's a great actor. He's mostly known for his stop motion, or not stop motion, but where he does vocals for CGI creatures like King Kong and Caesar from the Planet of the Apes franchise and the reboot, which was great. So I thought I'd give it a chance, and it got a lot of great reviews for this. So, and usually I particularly choose to watch it first to do the reviews, but I want to see if it's actually correct. If it's, everyone each to their own opinion, but I just wanted to see if it was really that good, because it got so many good reviews. It wasn't like in between anything. This is just at least what I saw on iTunes. So I thought, this would be worth $10 to rent. That's all it is. It's a little more than normally paid. You pay like $5 or $7 for it, including tax. Now, when it comes to the conclusion of her acting in here, I had to see more movies of her to determine if her acting is good. Now, I'll break it up a little bit into pieces when it comes to her, and then I'll get into the movie itself. Vocal-wise, I'm not really convinced that everything that comes with vocal, that she is a good actress. I think she's in the middle. She's definitely saw some promise of working on that as she goes along. I don't know how many movies and shows she's been in, but she definitely comes off as a newer actress. Now, when it comes to the physical stuff, from the facial motions to the action sequences, she does a very good job in here. It's very badass, convincing in here. So she's definitely got that down. Definitely, because she plays a villain in here, and she's very, very good at it. She's very intimidating till she speaks. That's the thing. In the John Wick 2, you got to keep in mind, is the first time I saw her, and she was a mute the whole time. So all you got to see was the physical acting part of it, not the vocal. Now, this is now to the movie itself. It's a very high budget look and feel to it. I don't know if that's just the camera. It could be just the camera, but it seems like it has a whole big budget. So that's kind of makes me wonder if Is this a indie film with a high budget, or is this actually a movie? I forgot what you call them, the main kind of movies that are big budget. So there is a little bit of spoiler in this. Other than that, I will not be giving any spoilers. This started out because a mercenary created a huge war crime. The whole scene in there, and I won't be specific, but it was very cool. It was very badass. I definitely loved how it was orchestrated, from the score to how the movement to the shots and to the weapons that they were using. So it was pretty good, and it definitely sets up a thing to it. Now, I do find it interesting that they gave Rose more of a wholesome family story, and at some point, to it, not some point, but to it a little bit. It did kind of strike me a little bit different than normally we get. Usually we get like they're verbally talking about the past, and then they show I forgot what we call them, things to the past. So there are problems with this film. Now this movie is definitely way better than I thought it would be. But I was still expecting originally some problems with this. So this is kind of where it goes in between B film and your A film. So every time they would reload their launchers at a part, you would hear a rifle cocking gun sound. Which in real life you don't hear that, because the cocking is, so you got the rifle and you got the cocking in here. Or like that. It's not like that with grenade launcher revolvers in general. You just pull the trigger and the hammer will fall back and forth, and it'll go back. It's usually automatic. If it's like single grenade launchers, you get to pull the trigger back and then fire, depending. I don't know about the newer ones. So it was just really stupid to me. Now, another part in this is they do a lot of shots where they're close up, and they start having type of dramaticness to it. Sound score to it, and the eyes change color. They change size of pupils. So I thought that was a little odd, but I dealt with that. That was actually fine after a while. I thought it was a little weird, a little out of the ordinary, but I thought it was very creative. So that's not necessarily a downer. What is a downer is there were some parts in there where they would pull up to either a town or a house, and they would go in there, and so all of a sudden the screen would freeze and then go up onto the people's faces, and did the dramatic thing again with that they do add the pupil change to it. And it's just like they show the door or they show the window, and then automatically they just, for some reason, knew. I hate when these films do that. It's usually B movies or indie films that do these type of dramatic. Just like they automatically know something's gonna pop out. It's like not realistic. But other than that, some of the dialogue, there's a couple dialogues in here, small parts in here, it's a small problem. They're a little bit cheesy. The little dialogue is a little bit cheesy. I know it's Brits, and they kind of have more of a comedic to Americans type of how they talk to people. But there were some direct comedic parts in here. Like a couple, like 2 or 3 dialogue parts. Very long action scenes that were pretty good. Very good, thrilling story with some issues, I will admit. Not to get into anything further in this review, I want to leave it to you. Have you seen this? Let me know. And here is my rating for this film. This was a very, very interesting film. It was good, but it wasn't perfect. It's definitely I would argue, between a indie film and a film. So it's definitely up there in high quality. The story wasn't what I was expecting at all. I think it was going to be like something like you would get with that train movie with Liam Neeson in it. So, you know, it was good. I was very, very entertained. I wasn't bored at all. It was a very good story. Just some issues in between here and there. You know, and there were definitely some unrealistic parts in it, but it's a movie. It's a fun movie, and you know, there's some, I would argue, some stuff I didn't see coming, but nothing really huge. So that is my review. Please like and subscribe if you have not. Yeah, I love you all. I found some more movies to do. Hopefully they're good so I can get through them. And yeah, I love you all. And Skull, please stay safe. And yeah.